Keep going. Keep going.
Irvin Zador was a young 21-year-old competing in the 1956 Olympics when he was punched so hard in the face he felt the blood rushing down the side. When he was punched in the face, he said that he saw 4,000 stars in the sky. In the August 2011 issue of BBC Magazine, they talked about how he felt in the moment and how he knew right after he was hit in the face, knew he couldn't play for the rest of the Olympics. Many people can get injured during this high intensity sport, and now you're wondering, what sport is this? It's water polo. So, in the April 2010 issue of Inkling News, it was stated that water polo is one of the most brutal sports in the world. And water polo is a crazy sport that does not get enough attention, and it's often overlooked by other sports like soccer or basketball, even football. However, in the January 2017 article of Swimming World magazine, it was said that water polo is now becoming the U.S.'s fastest growing sport, and that USA water polo memberships have gone up 25%. It's a sport not many people are aware of, and that's why today I will be giving a little more information on what it is. I will do this by first talking about the history of it, and then I will be giving a background, more information on what the rules are and the players of the game, and then I'll finish it off by some of the best players who are playing currently right now. And so, to help give a little bit more insight, here we'll be talking about the history. Who first played the sport, what year it began in, and started in the year of the mid-1800s. The 2005 article of Collegiate Water Polo Association states that the game was first created in Britain by resort owners to help attract more guests to come to their hotels, and these games were played first in rivers and in lakes. Around 1869 is when they added a small rubber ball for people to play in, and it replaced the original ball that was actually made out of pig stomach. In the year 1870, the London Swimming Club created rules for this sport, but the rules were more based on strength rather than the skill set of people, and because of this, it created a sense of wrestling in the water, and it would leave some people barely conscious after the game. In 1880 is when the Scottish changed the rules and made it more skill-based instead of strength-based, and they made a new ball that was the size of a soccer ball, and they also added goals. And this is the ball that is used today and was created by the Scottish. This is what we use in regular sports today, and The sport quickly picked up in countries like Hungary and France and Germany, and the game wasn't introduced until 1888 by a swimming English instructor who came here, and his name was John Robinson. The game's violence and brutality is what kept so many people interested in wanting to watch the sport. The 2019 Olympic article says that the water polo wasn't introduced into the Olympics into the Paris Games of 1900s, and this was for men. It didn't happen for women. Water polo in the Olympics didn't happen until the year 2000. So now that you know some background information, I will now be talking about the rules of the game. And so in this next point, I will be discussing the positions of players and what they do. In the 2019 article of Swim England, it talks about the rules. So the first thing, you would think that, okay, the goal is to swim to one side and shoot the ball, and it's that easy, right? Unfortunately, it's not. You can't touch the ground. You're treading the whole time, and you can catch and pass the ball with only one hand, and the only exception to these rules are the goalies. So you start the game off, which is by what is called a sprint. So you are on each team is on their sides of the pool, and the referee stands in the middle. And when the whistle is blown, they swim from their goal lines to the center, and whoever wins the sprint and has the possession of the game. And each team when you have the ball, you have 30 seconds to score the ball. And if you don't score it in that time, the ball gets turned over to the other team. Also, after a goal is scored, you line up at half, and the team that was scored on has the possession of the ball. And when the whistle is blown, they will go and try and score another ball. And the game clock is often stopped for fouls, which is when a member may be too harsh on another player, and so they get a 2-second free pass to pass the ball anywhere. And it also is stopped by ejections, which also was when a player is excluded out of the game for being too harsh. And so the games that are usually 4 quarters of 7 minutes can be stretched out to as long as 12 minutes. So now that you know what the game is about, I will now be talking about some of the most important players right now. One of them is Maggie Steffens. She has played in the last 2 Olympic Games, and she won in 2016. She won the Rio Olympic MVP, and she has won 2 gold medals. And another player I will be talking about is Ashley Johnson, who is the first African American woman to ever play on the U.S. Olympic team, and is their goalie, and is a really outstanding player and works really hard. So today I introduced you guys into the world of water polo, and I first started this by explaining the history, then by the rules, and finally by some most important players. Water polo is an amazing sport that more of you guys should watch, and is the reason. And you guys should watch out in the 2020 Olympics to see.